All right, so get ready for this one.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving deep into Sunny, who's kind of like,
Yeah.
if you took like a beat poet
Uh-huh.
and then like,
Okay.
a philosopher and gave him both a whole bunch of acid,
Right.
you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
that's what we're dealing with here. This book, The Fantastic Trips of a Cosmic Angel.
Oh, it's wild, this book.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's definitely not your typical, like, easy read.
No.
It's this crazy blend of poetry,
Yes.
social commentary, and, like, personal stories. It's, like, fascinating and kind of disturbing at the same time.
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, and
Right.
Jetsun, he describes it as surrealism journalism,
What?
which I think he just made up.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I think he just, like, coined that term.
But you know what, though?
Yeah.
It kind of works, right?
Does it oddly work?
Like he's trying to, I don't know,
Yeah.
capture all the craziness of the world.
Yeah.
Like just throwing everything in there.
Yeah, like he's just throwing everything at the wall.
And like whatever sticks.
Yeah. And seeing what sticks.
Exactly.
Memes.
Huh?
Quotes from Snowden.
Oh, yeah. Edward Snowden in there.
There's stories about peyote.
Those ceremonies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all in there.
It's all in this book.
And it's really fascinating.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is how like this collage style
Yes.
really is kind of a reflection of his whole worldview.
No.
Like he sees society as this
Yeah.
like fragmented, chaotic mess.
Okay.
And the way he writes,
Yeah.
it mirrors that.
It reflects it. Yeah.
He doesn't try to like clean things up or present a,
Yeah, make it all neat and tidy.
neat and tidy narrative. He just throws you right in the deep end.
He's like, figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
Surrealism journalism.
Okay.
What is he actually trying to do here?
Yeah.
Because it feels like he's going way beyond just like
Reporting the news.
I think that he's trying to like blow up this whole idea of objective truth.
Whoa.
He's basically saying that like traditional journalism with its like focus on facts and being neutral,
Okay.
it just can't capture like
Yeah.
the craziness of what's happening today.
Right.
So he uses like surrealism to disrupt those narratives
Yeah.
and like challenge our assumptions,
Yeah.
make us think critically.
So instead of giving you like a straightforward account of something like, let's say, the World Economic Forum, he's going to throw in a personal story about like tripping on peyote.
Yeah, exactly.
With a shaman or something.
With a Native American shaman.
Right, exactly. And it's jarring, right?
Yeah, it's jarring, right? It's like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right, exactly.
But I think that's his whole point.
Okay.
He's trying to create this like dissonance
Okay.
that shakes you out of your like complacency,
Oh, I see.
makes you make your own connections.
Okay, but isn't that like risky?
Totally.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is he going to alienate readers who just want like,
What's their message?
a clear, concise, like, hey, this is what's going on?
Yeah, but I think Jetsun, he doesn't care about like catering to the masses.
Oh, no.
He's writing for people who are willing to like do the work to like grapple with the ideas.
Yeah.
And to question everything
Yeah.
that they think they know.
All right, so let's get into some of those uncomfortable ideas.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
What are the big, like, controversial issues
Yeah.
that Jetsun tackles in Fantastic Trips?
Well, he clearly like has a problem with like the people in power. He sees like the concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a few
Yes.
as like a fundamental threat to individual freedom.
Right.
And he's not afraid to call out like specific institutions and individuals, like the World Economic Forum, which he describes as like a cabal of soulless technocrats.
Yeah, I underlined that part. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. That one's a good one.
And he doesn't hold back on, like, the COVID-19 pandemic either.
No, he doesn't.
He sees the lockdowns and the mandates as, like, a total power grab.
Yeah, blatant power grab.
By government.
By governments.
And, like, a super dangerous erosion of, like, personal freedom.
Of our freedoms, yeah.
Yeah.
And he even brings up, like, Julian Assange's imprisonment.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he sees it as, like, a prime example of
Yeah.
how, like, the powerful silence anyone who, like, disagrees.
Right.
And crush anyone who dares to, like, speak truth to power.
Speak truth to power, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he connects these concerns about, like, societal control with his, like, critique of technology.
Yes.
He doesn't see technology as, like, inherently good or bad.
Right.
But he argues that we need to be, like really careful about how it's used. Vigilant.
Yeah, vigilant, and like who controls it?
Who controls it?
You know,
it's really interesting.
It is, he paints this picture of like this dystopian future
Okay.
where technology is like used for surveillance
Yeah.
and manipulation.
Right.
And our every move is like tracked and controlled.
Yeah, it's like Big Brother.
It is. It's like Big Brother, yeah.
Okay, so this is getting pretty heavy.
It is.
Is there like any light at the end of the tunnel? Like,
Yeah.
does Jetsun offer any solutions
Well,
to these massive problems that he's like outlining?
that's where his focus on like love,
Okay.
spirituality, and like the feminine divine comes in.
Okay.
He sees these as like powerful forces for
Okay.
positive change, like
Okay.
antidotes to like all the cynicism
Right.
and despair.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like everywhere in modern society.
That permeates, yeah, and this isn't just some like abstract like philosophy for him.
Exactly. Like he writes about love and women with like this raw, passionate, like intensity. Yeah, like he clearly has like
a deep respect
for
the feminine.
Yeah.
And he sees it as this like source of strength.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
And inspiration.
There's this one passage where he describes a woman as like a walking temple.
A walking temple, yeah.
Radiating like fierceness and grace. And it's just like, it's so clear that he's moved by feminine energy.
Totally.
Both physically and spiritually.
It's interesting. Right?
Yeah, it's an interesting contrast.
Like this fierce social critic
Yeah.
who can be so like tender and romantic when he writes about women.
Exactly.
It adds like another layer to him.
Adds another layer to him, definitely.
And makes him even more fascinating.
Yeah.
And maybe it's even the key to understanding like
Ooh.
his whole message.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe he's suggesting that like love and compassion are like the ultimate weapons.
Oh,
you know,
that's a great point.
Against like the forces of darkness that he's fighting against.
Maybe.
Like he's saying even amidst all the chaos and the bullshit we can't lose sight of like
the beauty and love.
Yeah, the beauty.
Yeah.
The love that still exists.
Exactly.
Right.
And maybe those are the things that will save us.
All right, so we've touched on a lot of big ideas here.
We have?
But I think to really get a feel for Jetsun's style, we need to dive into one of his poems.
Absolutely.
What did you think of Sakura's Pink Petals?
Oh man, that one really hits you in the gut.
It does.
It's short, but it's like so powerful, and it really like encapsulates that blend of like surrealism, social commentary, and raw emotion that we've been talking about.
Oh, it's all there. It's all in that poem.
It's all in that poem.
Sakura's Pink Petals.
Yeah, Sakura's Pink Petals. It's such a good example of how he can like, pack so much meaning into these short lines.
It really is. It's like
a punch in the face, you know?
Yeah, but like a good punch in the face.
A good punch in the face. Yeah, exactly.
Like wake up, you know.
Exactly.
It's raw. You know, it's visceral.
It is very visceral, very raw, and I think like
that style, you see it all throughout his work.
It's not just like pretty words, it's like a call to action, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that line, bombing for peace, is FGM.
Oh, yeah.
It's brutal, but it makes you...
It makes you think, right.
Yeah, it makes you think like...
It makes you think about how we use language to justify all these horrible things.
Violence, oppression, all of that.
Yeah, and it's interesting how he draws these like crazy parallels.
He does.
He'll compare factory farming to the Holocaust.
Yeah, you know, he equates the surveillance state to like a digital panopticon.
That's right, and he's just basically saying like, don't turn away, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like this is the reality, this is the messed up.
This is it.
Reality that we live in.
Yeah.
Don't shy away from it.
Yeah, and it's not just like societal issues.
Right.
He's equally like unflinching when it comes to like his own personal struggles.
Yeah.
Like he talks about addiction.
He does.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Spiritual searching, all with this brutal honesty.
Yeah, brutal honesty. And it's
refreshing.
It's refreshing.
You know, it's not...
And it's kind of unsettling at the same time.
Yeah, it's not your typical like self-help guru.
No.
Bullshit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not trying to like sell you a solution.
10-step program to enlightenment.
Exactly. He's just saying like, this is my
messy, fucked up journey.
Yeah, this is my messed up journey. And, maybe you can relate. Maybe you can learn something from it.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes him so relatable.
Yeah.
Like even when he's talking about these really complex, philosophical ideas.
He brings it back.
He brings it back to
his
his personal
personal
experience.
His own experience.
And he's like, hey, I'm just a guy trying to figure things out.
Right.
Just like you.
Same as you. And it's it makes him, more human. More real,
More real.
Like he's this brilliant guy, but he's also struggling.
Struggling with the same shit we all are.
We've all been there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's funny too.
Oh, he is funny.
Which I think sometimes people overlook.
Right.
In the middle of this heavy passage about the decline of democracy,
right.
He'll throw in this joke. And it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, totally unexpected.
Right, exactly.
It's like he's saying, look, we can acknowledge the darkness,
right,
but we don't have to wallow in it.
We don't have to just stay there.
We can still laugh.
There's still room for laughter, for joy.
Even in the face of all this madness.
And I think that's that strange mix of darkness and light,
Yeah, the darkness and light.
Cynicism and hope, that's what makes him so
unique,
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, 1 minute he's, ranting about the World Economic Forum.
Right.
And then the next he's writing about the beauty of a woman's smile.
That's right. And it's not just physical beauty.
Right.
He seems to have this...
It's reverence for the feminine in general.
Right.
He writes about women as these powerful creative forces.
Vessels of wisdom,
Yeah, vessels of wisdom and intuition.
A walking temple.
A walking temple.
That line, it's just
it's beautiful.
Beautifully written.
It is.
And it really captures his
awe and respect.
For the feminine divine.
And I think that ties into his critique of modern society.
I think so too.
He sees this
patriarchal
materialistic
as
being out of balance.
Yeah. We need to
return
to the feminine.
To a more
heart-centered
way of being.
Yeah, way of being in the world.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, right?
Interesting.
Because it's not what you typically expect from, someone who's so
critical
of, the establishment.
Of the establishment. He's not just a...
Right, he's not just a...
grumpy old man yelling at clouds.
Yeah, yelling at clouds.
He actually offers, a
vision?
A vision for a better future.
Yeah. A vision for a better future, yeah.
Where love and compassion are at the center.
And maybe that's what makes his work so...
Enduring,
yeah.
He doesn't just point out the problems.
He doesn't just, point out the problems.
He offers a glimpse of a possible solution.
That's right. And it's a solution, a vision that's both radical and,
hopeful.
Hopeful, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I know we keep coming back to Sacker's Pink Petals.
Sacker's Pink Petals.
It's a good one.
But I think it's a perfect, example of what we're talking about. That first line.
Mm-hmm.
Authenticity. Respect light's reflections inside Parvati's hot cocoon.
Yeah.
It's
so dense, right?
Dense with imagery and meaning.
Yeah, so much imagery, so much meaning packed into that.
And it gets to the heart.
The heart of what he's all about.
Of what he's all about, yeah.
Authenticity, respect, connection to something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah. And then by invoking Parvati,
yes,
the Hindu goddess of power and sexuality.
That's right.
He's bringing in that divine feminine element.
Divine feminine, yeah.
And suggesting that
that's where we need to turn.
That's where we need to turn.
For guidance.
For inspiration.
He's saying we've
lost our way.
We've lost our way. We've become disconnected from our hearts, from nature, from
the feminine.
The feminine, yes.
The feminine principle.
We need to
we need to rediscover these things.
Rediscover these things if we want to.
If we want to heal ourselves and the world.
Ourselves and the world, yeah.
Yeah.
What about that line, egomaniac circumcising for virginity?
Oh, yeah. It's such a
powerful image.
Powerful image.
And I think it speaks to that whole
control, yeah.
Control, repression thing.
To repression, yeah.
That we were talking about.
He's just basically saying
all these attempts to
control
and regulate
sexuality. Yes. It's all about power.
It's all about power. It's not about
morality.
Not about morality. It's not about virtue. It's about power.
And he's not just talking about Like
I know.
literal circumcision.
No. He's
They're
talking about
all the ways we try to, like...
all the ways we try to control and confine each other,
So fine.
both physically and mentally.
True freedom.
True
True love can only exist when
Yeah.
we break free from those
limitations,
limiting beliefs.
those limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
and embrace
Our full selves.
our full selves,
Our sexuality.
our wildness.
Our wildness, you know.
It's a pretty radical message.
It is radical, but it
resonates.
resonates, yeah.
It resonates, I think, especially today.
Yeah, it does.
It's definitely challenging, like
The status quo.
the status quo, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he does best.
That's what he does best.
He makes us question
Everything.
everything.
Look at the world
Look at the world
from a different perspective.
from a totally different perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good place to leave things for now.
Yeah, I agree.
We've
Covered a lot,
covered a lot of ground,
but we've just scratched the surface
but we've barely scratched the surface.
of Sunny Jetsun's work.
Yeah, there's so much more
There's so much more to explore.
to explore.
So many layers to unpack.
So many layers to unpack.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll be like
I think so too.
revisiting his work again soon,
I think we'll have to.
because he's the kind of writer who like
Yeah.
stays with you
He stays with you,
You know?
long after you've finished reading.
long after you've finished reading.
He challenges you.
He challenges you.
He provokes you.
He provokes you, and
And
ultimately
lately he makes you think.
he makes you think. And isn't that what great art is all about?
I think so.
So, as we've been going through Sunny Jetsun's work,
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's not afraid
No, it's not.
to like really pissing people off.
Oh, yeah. He's
I know,
definitely not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
Like he calls the World Economic Forum
Ah.
a circle jerk of soulless ghouls.
That's a good one.
Right? Like he does not
Yeah.
hold back.
No, he doesn't mince words.
He's not subtle.
Not at all. And I think that's part of
Yeah.
what makes him so appealing.
Yeah.
You know, he's not trying to please everyone or
Fit in.
fit into some,
Yeah, like a box.
neat little box. He's just expressing himself.
yeah, expressing himself.
Raw and unfiltered.
And it's kind of like refreshing.
Yeah, it is refreshing.
In a world where everyone's like
Yeah.
super careful about their image and like
Yeah. Tiptoeing around.
tiptoeing around.
All the controversial stuff.
Yeah, all the controversial topics.
Yeah.
Justin's just like, boom,
He comes out swinging.
here it is.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Take it or leave
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But it's funny because even when he's being like
Yeah.
super critical,
Mm-hmm.
there's still like this
Humor. Playfulness.
Yeah, and this playfulness.
In his writing.
Yeah, like he's not taking himself
He's not taking himself too seriously.
seriously.
Even when he's talking about,
Yeah,
really serious shit.
like really serious stuff.
Yeah.
It's like he's kind of winking at you.
I know, right?
Like, I know this is all messed up,
Yeah.
but let's not lose our
Our sense of humor.
sense of humor
About
at
it.
all. Yeah, it's important.
It is. I think we need to be able to laugh at the absurdity of it all.
Yeah, otherwise we'll just
Otherwise, you just get swallowed.
swallowed up by all the darkness.
Yeah, by all the darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also got this amazing ability to jump from the deeply personal.
Yeah.
To the cosmic.
Yeah, in
In a blink of an eye.
a heartbeat. Yeah.
1 minute he's talking about
Yeah.
his struggles with addiction.
Right.
The next he's reflecting on
Consciousness.
consciousness, the interconnectedness
Of all things.
of all things.
Yeah, it's like his mind is just constantly
Yeah.
expanding and contracting,
Yeah.
zooming in, zooming out.
It's like a camera.
It's just like a camera lens.
Going from really
Yeah.
tight close up
Yeah,
to this wide expansive shot,
exactly. And he
somehow makes it all
makes it all work.
it makes sense.
It all connects somehow.
That's what makes him so
challenging.
challenging.
What rewarding
to read.
He doesn't give you easy answers.
No.
He doesn't tell you what to think.
He doesn't spoon feed you his opinions.
He forces you to
Yeah.
think for yourself.
Think for yourself.
Grapple with these complex ideas.
Grapple with it. Yeah, and come to your own
Come to your own conclusions.
conclusions. And honestly, that's a rare
Yeah.
gift, I think, in this day and age.
It is, especially in this age of
Information overload.
information overload, where we're constantly
Bombarded.
bombarded with opinions,
In narratives, everything.
narratives,
And
everything.
he's like, no.
Yeah.
Take a step back. Question everything.
Question it all.
Form your own.
Form your own judgments.
Yeah. Judgments, opinions, everything.
Yeah.
I think that's what he meant when he said that,
What was it?
I'm becoming more convinced that those of us who struggled to listen at school
Oh, yeah.
were just instinctively tuning out of programming.
That's a good one.
Right. It's like he's saying that the people who
Yeah.
question authority,
Question authority. Those who don't just blindly
accept
the dominant narrative.
Yeah, they're the ones who are
Awake. Truly
Vibrant.
awake. Truly awake, yeah.
and that's a message that I think is
Relevant.
so relevant today, especially today.
Especially today when we're facing
So many challenges.
so many challenges.
Like climate change, technology, political polarization.
We need people.
We need people who are willing to
Think critically. Challenge the status quo.
and imagine new possibilities.
Exactly.
And I think Sunny Jetsun, for all his flaws and contradictions, is one of those people.
He is.
He's a
visionary.
A visionary, a provocateur. And ultimately,
Right.
a voice for change.
A voice for change.
He might not have all the answers,
Maybe not.
but he's asking, I think, the right
questions.
questions.
Yeah, and I think that's more than enough to make him
Worth reading.
worth reading, yeah.
So if you're ready to, have your mind blown,
Oh, yeah. To laugh?
to cry,
To rage.
to
Inspired.
then do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Pick up a copy of The Fantastic Trips of a Cosmic Angel.
It's a wild ride.
But just be prepared, because Sunny Jetsun
Doesn't pull any punches.
does not pull any punches.
He'll take you to the edge of reality.
To the edge of reality and back.
And back.
And you just might come out the other side.
A little wiser.
A little wiser.
A little wilder.
A little wilder.
And a whole lot more awake.
And a whole lot more awake.
So, thanks for joining us.
On this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.